It's having stacks of canvas, some of them in progress, some of them finished, some of them so old you can barely remember doing them. It's having mountains of cups of cold coffee scattered around your art space. It's selling 5 pieces in 1 week and then not selling everything or anything for a few months. It's trying over and over again, even though you're tired and don't know where to start. It's the messy middle. Welcome back to my channel, and thank you for tuning in. Today I want to take a slightly different approach and start a new segment about basically creating an online journal. And I know that's technically what I do anyway with my vlogs, but there's some stuff I want to talk about. I spend a lot of my time in the messy middle. Right now I have an album that I'm halfway through finishing. I have a novel that I'm halfway through finishing, another novel I've started, one that's already done but needs editing. There's poetry I haven't quite finished. There's artwork that I'm in the middle of just establishing and getting ideas and lists upon lists upon lists. And sometimes I convince myself that this busyness is really positive and great, and sometimes it is motivating, but sometimes it's just this grey area of this messy middle that is uncomfortable, and I don't like it, and I want everything done. Sometimes I'm drinking cold coffee and getting so zoned into my artwork that I kind of lose everything else. But right now, I suppose my focus with this YouTube channel is to try and find my tribe, to try and connect to people. And I've been doing my best to really show up as best I can over the last 6 months and really dedicate myself this year to it. And it's been happening very slowly, and that's okay. This is my messy middle. This is where I am in the in-between, and there are so many messy middles in my life that I just really want to step into them as earnestly and as honestly as I can. So, with that in mind, I'd like you to join me in a kind of a new way of vlogging and sharing art and making things. And yeah, I hope you'll enjoy as much as I will. So today we are sketching this lady, and I literally sketched her about 10 minutes ago, so here we go. So this is the year I decided to officially take art from a hobby / sell every now and again to a proper side business. It's not my main thing. I don't really want it to be my main thing just yet at this stage of my life, but if it did become that, I would be open and welcome it. It would be a beautiful change, but right now it kind of come out of necessity because there's about 200 canvases in my room and littered all over my house, and I just need a place to put them, and I hoped that putting them in other people's houses where they could be loved and cherished and not tripped over would be a beautiful thing to do. So the way I wanted to reach out was to recommit and reboot this YouTube channel to hopefully find customers. But if I'm honest, more importantly, it's to find a community, because being an artist, sitting in that room for a few hours a day, as beautiful as it is, it can also be a bit isolating. Sometimes lonely, especially during the winter when we're not out and about as much. But for this YouTube channel, what I really wanted to do was find people who think like me, who want to live life like I live life, and maybe also find some resources to help me progress and further myself, not just in terms of artistic skill, but in terms of business skill and in terms of basically just being better all around at what I want to do, which is, again, make art, create images, tell stories, all that kind of stuff. So this is my messy middle. This is me in the middle of trying to turn something into an actual side business and not quite knowing what to do. The thing that I found most frightening has been, maybe frightening is too strong a word, but let's not rule it out. The first thing I found more frightening is that with a YouTube channel, you can't really half-arse it in terms of you have to put content out there. You have to learn in public, and that is scary. Because your mistakes are there. You are going to fumble over your words. I certainly have and still do. You are going to make artwork that's not entirely finished, because I'm one of those artists that likes to really get flouncy and spend a lot of time. These watercolor pieces are actually something that I love to do just for something quick and for something I can get done in a couple of hours or sometimes an hour. But these actually putting the bigger pieces out there is, like, even now as I look back on some of the stuff I put up a few months ago, I want to edit it and change it, and I might do that, and I don't think an artwork is finished until it's sold. That's kind of the philosophy I live by. But it's that living out in public that is frightening, because you're really sort of being vulnerable and having to put stuff out there. But also it's humbling, because all artists have this aggrandized versions of themselves within themselves, and I certainly have that, and I do have a lot of expectations for myself and things that I want to do, and things that I don't know, perhaps I just don't know how the world works properly, but I sort of expect putting content out there to be heard and listened to, and you'll find your people, and I thought it would be a lot easier than it was, and it isn't. For the last 6 months now, I've been dedicating at least one day a week to this YouTube channel, and sometimes that's really worked and sometimes it hasn't. Like June, it didn't happen. That was a wonky mental health month for me, and it just didn't happen. So this month I'm back on track, and I've been digging into a lot of my resources, a lot of my self-help books and the things that I like to dive into. And for me, it's that I want to create content creation as a habit, but keeping the art itself sacred. And that's something I'm still working out and I'm still figuring out. And if you have any advice on that, again, I'm totally open. I'm looking to meet you. If you come across this, I'm interested in what you have to say, because we may approach life in the same way. Anyway, so that's my messy middle for now, and I'm going to try and create vlogs and content that is more diary and journal-like in fashion. And I know that I'm going to fail at certain points. I know that this is going to be awkward at the beginning, but all I can do right now is keep the promise I made to myself at the beginning of the year, which was just to keep showing up and to keep trying my best and to keep making sure that I am positioning myself in a way that can connect me with people who are on my wavelength. I keep saying that. This is what I mean by being awkward. I'm going to learn in public, but this is what it is. Right, so I suppose I should talk about the artwork I'm making. Like I said, it's a small watercolor piece. It is a hot press watercolor paper, and there is just watercolors, Staedtler pens, some felt tip pen. I love my Posca markers, who doesn't? And I don't think the surrounding is done by ink as well. I'm not sure if that came up because a chunk of this video also went missing. I was painting and realized that I didn't have the camera switched to record. This is my favorite part of every watercolor painting. It's the peeling back. I have to turn the sound off for it because I don't want to get a content, one of those content strikes, because I was watching Downton Abbey. I haven't seen it at all, and I am completely binging it right now. I am obsessed. So that's where my head is at. So I think also this will be on my Folksy, my store account. All the links will be below as usual. I keep forgetting to mention that I actually do sell my work, and for some reason you have to keep telling people that your work is for sale, because they won't actually go and look until you figure it out. And I'm just doing my best right now. I'm trying to do a blog I am doing a blog every week. I'm trying to make sure one of these is uploaded every week. I'm trying to make sure that my habits are in place. I've been reading this wonderful book called Atomic Habits, and it has shifted everything for me. I read it about a year ago, and it's definitely helped me to change my mindset on how I am approaching the habits I want to have for the rest of my life. So here she is. I hope the camera picked up enough of her to pique your interest, but if not, I really and truly thank you for tuning in, and I really hope that I get to connect with you at some point. So thank you for tuning in again, and I hope that we can sort of begin to build more of a community together, because that's kind of where I'm going now. Well, trying to show up as best I can for that anyway. Trying to be less perfect, less polished, although I never really had a chance of that anyway. But so if what I do is your vibe, please come say hello in the comments, and let's get to know each other a bit better. Until then, I shall see you all in a week or so, or maybe on Thursday, because that's my day off when I tend to do this. I'm just doing an extra one today on Tuesday. Hopefully it's out on Tuesday. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, if you want to buy this as well, then she will be on my store down below, and there's tons of other stuff in there. And as always, if there's something that you want to see in there, or something you want me to draw, I'll give it a go. We can try. Either way, I'll see you soon, and thank you for tuning in. So like every time I forget to say like and subscribe. I keep forgetting to say it. So please, like and subscribe.